Okay. Hi.
Hi,
Welcome back. I'm Julie,
I'm Melissa.
and we're back today having another discussion about creating this new relationship with the body and what that might mean and what that kind of looks like. I'm not sure if people experienced it over the holidays, but there was a huge activation in the body that has got ignited. And we're, about 10 days from that now. It hit December 25th. There is literally a physical reset going on with the body.
I heard stories from clients and just friends that they were sleeping all day. They were just unusually exhausted. I mean, the holidays can take it out of you anyway, but this was an unusual exhaustion. It was just a deep down, I need to sleep. And it's not a resting. We had to sleep during that one.
Yes. And this is going to be occurring all year. So this is not something that, it's over and done. This is something that literally our bodies are going through a reset, a recalibration. And what we want to do is kind of explore and remember, well, what's that mean? What's that going to mean for us?
What does it feel like? What is our body doing? Because all of these energetic shifts have a physical manifestation. And sometimes we might go through them fairly easily and not really recognize that anything changed. And sometimes we might have some actual physical consequence of that energy shift.
Yeah. So I will share with you, there is a Facebook page called Simple Alchemy. And it is something that I'm a participant with, where we put out really energy codes about what's going on with this energy shift. And so if you're interested, you can look at those blog posts, go back and refresh, and kind of remember, oh yeah, this is what's happening. Remember, a lot of this process does not make any human sense.
No, you can't think your way through it. You just have to feel your way through it and have patience with yourself. And sometimes reading those blog posts then makes sense for your body as to what you're going through.
And so I'm just going to give you an example. I had a client come in yesterday, and she does receive them, and she said, oh my gosh, Julie, she said, the last 2 weeks, my neck has been so stiff and tight. And she said, I can barely turn my head. She said, to the point where she made a doctor's appointment because she thought she was concerned something was really cooking up. And what is getting activated, there's 2 points right on the side of the neck, right here on the clavicle.
Yep.
And then the coccyx, which is
Tailbone.
your tailbone, yes. And so these points, energy is entering the body and really disconnecting us from our thinking and keeping us anchored solidly in our heart.
If you feel your clavicle, there's a little bump here, and then you'll find an indent. And that's where it's coming in.
Yeah, that's the point.
Yep.
So you may want to massage it, and it might feel tender or painful already, or it might feel tight. This will help keep the body moving with this energy. Well, so she said that she went to bed, she woke up at 2 a.m. She couldn't sleep because she was in pain, and she checked her phone aside. We had posted a new blog post, and it was a picture of the body, and we had given some recommendations. And one of them was taking peppermint oil and just massaging it around the neck. And she said, I don't usually have oils, but I go to my bathroom and there's a peppermint oil sitting there.
Excellent.
And so she puts it all over her neck, and she said almost immediately, she said she felt relief. She could move her head, and she went back to bed and slept perfectly. On a human level, that makes no sense.
Right.
Right? You're like, I'm sorry, how does some oil do that?
Right.
But remember, we are working with energy. Everything is a vibration. The body is going to respond best to energy and what is going to support the body in moving through these high voltages. It's almost like we're getting lightning bolts into our body. So what else? Do you have anything you want to share with a client or a story?
Oh, let's see. What have we had? Oh, well, I'll just share a personal one. I have been just wiped out today. Just today.
Yeah. Yeah, you came in the house, you're like, what is going on?
I know. Those were the first words out of my mouth. What is going on today? Because I feel like I've been hit by a truck. And it's just the way I'm supposed to take it slow today. I'm just supposed to sit with myself and just experience what's going on. That's all it is. And sometimes we need those physical reminders to take a break, to sit and rest and think, or not think, and just be with yourself.
So let's talk about in the past.
Yes.
When you were maybe less aware.
Yes.
And less knowing of this body and had
Yes.
less of a relationship with it. What might you have done when you had this experience before?
Oh, years past would have been things like coffee or soda, or just work through it. You'll be fine. It's no big deal. Doing that continually tends to lead to adrenal fatigue.
And don't you see that a lot in your practice?
I see that a lot in my practice. Yep.
Yes. Yep. So what we're really sharing here, this is a time to really step into that space, if you have not done so already, to honoring the body.
Exactly the words that came to my mind.
I like
exactly
it. We're in the same thought bubble.
Yes.
So that's nice.
Yes.
But yes, honoring. It is speaking to you.
Right.
Listen. Listen. When you pause, put your hand on your heart, close your eyes, tune in. We talked about that last time. 3 breaths. Melissa did that beautiful experience with the full breathing, which is so helpful. If you haven't seen that, go back to our first video.
Yep.
There was some good key elemental things about breathing in there. But that will bring you back into you. And then there's this knowing that arises. Oh, how can I support you? I speak to my body. I will say, okay, thank you for telling me.
Right.
The first thing I do is thank it. I'm like, okay, thank you. And then I said, well, how can I support you?
Right.
And then you might get a nudge to do something, to maybe lay down.
Lay down.
Maybe just sit. Get comfortable with being.
I was in the middle of a yoga class this morning, and I had to lay down. Right in the middle of class, I just laid down. Luckily, I wasn't the teacher of that class. I was attending.
Right. Well, and even if you were the teacher,
right,
that would be demonstrating being.
I would have guided them to lay down, and we would have worked from there.
This time, like none other, we are so being asked to flow with what is in the moment. So with that, we're just going to take a couple minutes and talk about, we were having this discussion earlier.
Yep.
There's 4 core emotions. If you boil it down, all these feelings we have boil down to 4 core emotions. And I feel like it'll be really helpful because this so ties into the body.
Yep.
Starting to pull these apart and talk about the core 4. So if I ask you, what do you suppose what one of those are? Most people would guess anger.
Right.
Oh, yuck.
I know.
Yuck.
I don't like that one.
Yuck. Most of us do not have a pleasant experience with that emotion. As a child, a good majority of us were in families and experiences where people became their anger. They didn't feel it. There's a very big difference between feeling it, experiencing it through the heart, giving it a voice and letting it come out, or becoming it and throwing up on other people around you.
Exactly. I always think of it as anger is passion out of control.
Perfect. Because we talked about this too.
Right.
The only way you can access passion is through feeling anger. It's through that feeling of anger that you get clear. It's that feeling of anger you can access this gut creative passion,
Right.
soul passion that comes from the core and you can express.
Right.
There is so many gifts with the energy of passion. However, our references of our past was people becoming it, not feeling it. In my experience, my dad basically got to have all the anger of the family. So I'm sitting there as a 2-year-old going, oh my gosh, this does not feel good. I never want to feel this again, and I never want anybody else to feel this again. So I will not have anger. Boom.
Period. All done.
Shut that door. Well, what do you suppose happened? It will be had. So you get pushed, you get pushed, you get pushed and activated, and pretty soon you explode. And then you feel bad that you say things or do things you didn't mean.
Right.
But you literally become out of control.
Right.
Because it's such a primal force, it will come out.
Right.
And so what you want to do is start identifying the energy of anger.
Learn how to work with it, how to express it constructively. Think about ways that it just shows up for you, what triggers your anger, and just sit with those things and experience them a little bit. Once you learn how to work with your anger, where it manifests in your body, what it looks like in your life, and how to work with it really is the best way I can describe
And
it.
experience it. Feel it.
Then you
feel
can
it.
learn how to access your passion, which is super fun, but you can't do one without the other. They go together.
They do. And we want to keep these little sessions short.
Right.
So we're gonna wrap this up today, but
Yep.
we are gonna continue this conversation of anger because it's something you will be experiencing not only internally but globally. And we want to give you some new tools on how to navigate that.
I think that'd be great.
All right. Thanks
All
for
right.
watching.
Bye. See you next time.